Mobile app development is development of applications that work on our mobile device. Uh, if I say mobile device, we all know what is called mobile device, right? If I ask for example now, can anyone give me a mobile phone, right? Okay, but mobile development is not limited to our mobile phone. It's basically our mobile devices. It includes our phone, smartwatch, terminal, POS terminal, and the likes. Majorly, all the devices we use that have screens that we can basically carry around. Those are our mobile devices. And mobile apps used to come in two major operating systems, which they are majorly known as Android and iOS, right? So am I do you understand me, right? So we majorly have Android and iOS. There are more, but then those are the major operating system that we have for mobile devices. Now, there has been days whereby when companies want to develop for mobile application, they used to they will hire Android engineer, iOS engineer, just to develop the same app, right? But works on different operating system. So the native development program language for Android is Java and Kotlin, while for iOS is Object-C and Swift. So Java is the first native language for Android app, but later Google started developing something called Compose UI, and that used Kotlin. So along the line, they embraces Kotlin as their major development program for Android. However, Java is still Kotlin is still like an extension of Java because it's still Java kits that I use. He used Java development kits, but then the Kotlin is just like an extension or maybe another version developed from Java. That's on the Android side. Then we have iOS. iOS use Object-C as their initial native development, but I think around 2009 also they started developing. They announced Swift UI, which is another version of Object-C, but on a simpler uh, development. Now, so we along the line, yeah, they bring about cross platform development, whereby the code you write for Android is still the same. You remember I said company used to hire Android developers, iOS developers before they can build the same software, the same mobile app. So they have to hire Android developer, hire iOS developer to do the same work. But then later, people started developing something like cross-platform. Now, cross-platform apps languages they are easy to maintain. Because you don't obviously you don't have to hire both Android again. You don't need to hire Android developer, iOS developer to build the same software. You can just write the same code, and it works on both platform. Yeah, so that's very exciting for companies. That's why they started embracing uh, cross-platform. And for cross-platform, we have so many languages, frameworks that works on cross-platform. What I mean by cross-platform is a source code, a code you write that will work on both Android and iOS. I think that is clear, right? So now companies started embracing cross-platform. and along the line, we have so many languages. We have Ionic, we have Flutter, we have React Native, we have Xamarin, and the likes. But most of them are frameworks. What I mean by frameworks is we all have major language we speak, right? We speak English. I mean, let's say we speak English as our major language in Nigeria. But then we speak broken English too. You know, the basic language is the English, but broken English is just like they pick from English. They pick some major words that people use every day within the local language, and they coin it together to bring about broken English, right? That be speaking. So now that's where we have frameworks. Frameworks is just like extension of native language. So they have it might be native language, it might be any other languages, but the major language we use in Flutter is Dart. React Native use JavaScript. Xamarin, I think they use, I don't know for those one, right? But then we on Flutter side we use Dart. Dart is the major language, is the language where Flutter is coined from. Now, why do we want to learn Flutter out of all these programming language frameworks and programming languages? First, Flutter is easy. Flutter is easy. Other languages too are easy, but then another thing is Flutter is have major community, that you can easily go to when you have an issue, and they will just help you and the likes. So Flutter is really good on that side. Another thing is Flutter is fast. Flutter is fast compared to other frameworks and language. You can decide to build initially, if people want to build an application that works on Android, it takes months to complete a whole project. Months. But with Flutter, if the application is not too much robust, you can build it within a month with Flutter. A month with Flutter. If the application is not that too much robust, do you get? A month. Okay, so Flutter is fast and it's easy, community support and the likes. And Flutter works. You have a question, okay? Yes, it's cross-platform. That's why we said we want to take cross-platform development. Now, Flutter uses that as the native language. Now, why does Flutter pick that of all programming language? We have Java, we have C#, we have C++, we have PHP, and the likes. But Flutter picks that. And why? Okay. One of the reasons is that supports cross-platform. So the application you build on Android, you can also work on iOS. Yeah, so that's the first thing. We have Java too. Java also supports cross-platform, but then we still pick Flutter. I mean, Flutter still picks that. And another reason is there's this feature in that is called Auth reload. When you are building with Java, I've write Android code before. If you write anything, if you launch your application in debug mode and you change something, even if it's just one letter, you change, and you want to populate that changes on your device, you have to restart the app. Yeah, you have to restart the app. But with that supports Auth reload, and there's auth reload, which when you do something now and you save, it immediately populates that changes on your device, and that's one of the exciting feature of that, and which makes Flutter embrace that. Is that clear? Now that's about the introduction of that and the programming language we'll be using. Now, to get started, we will be looking at that, basics of that, before we move to Flutter. Now, just like any other programming language, Flutter embraces the syntax with the likes of Java. It looks much like Java, JavaScript, and C++. Like, it embraces their implementation, their syntax, and so on. So then another thing is that's all these variables, all the syntax, just like any other programming language. Now let's get started with variable. Let's know what is variable first. Now, this thing you are seeing on this screen is called ID. That's part ID. Now, before we go on, let's explain what is ID. ID is integrated development environment. It's just like your notebook. Let me just put it as an example. Like, it's your notebook where you write your notes, whatever you want. But then ID is more built to support programming languages, depending on whatever programming language you want to write. Exactly. So it's built to support whatever programming language you want to write. So an example of it is Datpad. Datpad is online ID built for that only. It's built for that only. That is, it only supports that. And with that, with this, you don't have to install that locally to use that. But then it has its limitation. For example, it doesn't support some features of that. That's one thing. Another thing is you might be having network issue at times where your program might not run smoothly. So that's why we will need to install that locally on our computer as well. But for now, let's just look at some things with this that ID. Now, let me start with comments. So is it going to work very well like this? Please let me look at it's not simulating my cursor at all. Let me pause the video for now. Maybe I should just duplicate my screen. What was that thing like this? Wait, okay, I want to check something. Okay. What's happening? Okay, guys, let's continue. Sorry for the break. Okay. As I was explaining about the ID, the major ID we have for Android development, the basic ID for Android development is Android Studio, while for iOS development is Xcode. Like the basic, like the ID that is developed for Android development is Android Studio, while for iOS is Xcode. That is, if you want to develop for Android, you need Android Studio. If you want to develop for iOS, you need Xcode. Xcode only works on MacBook. So if you are going to develop for iOS, you will need a MacBook. But if you want to develop for Android, you can use both MacBook and Android. I mean, MacBook and Windows. Exactly. Like Android Studio works on both Windows and on MacBook. But Xcode doesn't work on Windows. It has to be on MacBook only. Exactly. So now, but then we can still use VS Code, but still you still need Xcode. In fact, you still need Android Studio too if you want to. You can use VS Code to do your development and the all, but then there are some configuration that you will need Android Studio for and you need Xcode for. Okay, that's clear. Now let's move on to comments. Comments in all programming language have a comment. Like one way or the other, they have one way to comment their code. And what comment does is it tells your ID to ignore whatever you write within that comment. Exactly. For example, I can write anything here, and you notice an error will pop up. You see, it's saying undefined name, blah blah blah. So that's because the ID doesn't understand what I write. But if I just add two / here, just ignore whatever it is there. That is not going to consider what's written within that. So we have types of comments we have in that. We have single line comments. We have multi-line. Then we have okay, that's documentation. So, yeah, we have documentation comments. Now, this single line, you said? What? I will explain. Now, we have single line comments. Single line comment is a comment where you put it's symbolized as double forward slash, where whatever you write within that line is going to be ignored. Whatever I write here is being ignored. But if I move to the next line and I write another thing, you see it's colored. That means it's considering this, but it doesn't read this one. Exactly. So it means single line comment is used to comment within the same line. Whatever you write within. So then we have multi-line. Multi-line comments can be used to comment many lines of codes. Let me write anything here. Now, whatever I write within here is being ignored. That's because they are multi-line. We are using multi-line comments, and all programming languages have one way or the other. The comments, it might not be exactly like this, but then they have their own way to comment in their code. Exactly. Then another one is documentation comment. This one is used to write documentation for your line of code. For example, I can say this is a variable. Then I will declare a variable here. New. Now, so this, whatever I write within this line is going to be like a documentation for the next line of code. The next line, you know, like for example, this now, I put my comment here on line 14. So whatever I put here will be the documentation of whatever I write here. So this is going to be like, whenever this one we want to reference this name, this is going to be like an explanation of what this name does. Exactly. Now, below it, yes. Now, that's that about comments. Is there any question about that? Okay, single line comment is just, okay, for example now, you see this code here. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I tried to. I've been logged out and the recording was not working as well. Wow. Hello, Blessing. I'm still in the meeting. Hello.
I'm here. I can't hear you.
I can't hear you, Blessing, if you are talking.
Ah. I can hear you, Sha.
Hello. I don't know if Blessing is. Hello.
Hello, I can hear you.
I can see an indicator that you are speaking, but I can't hear you. Let me check my output, my speaker.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can't hear you speaking, but I can see the indicator that
I'm
you are
following,
speaking.
Sha. I'm following. Can you hear me?
What do we
Can
do
you
now?
hear me?
Let me quickly message this. Blessing, if you can still hear me, let's. I've called up on Josephine to come and help. I can't hear you.
I can hear you.
So I can. Blessing is speaking. I can't hear her
You can't hear.
at all.
Are you
And
muted?
I'm not muted.
You are not muted.
Yes.
No. You are not muted. She
My
can't
video,
hear you.
yes. I mean, I can't hear her.
You can't hear her.
Yes.
I can hear you.
Let me check.
She has even messaged me on Slack. Just click on it.
Hello?
Hello, Blessing.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can't hear her. Pick this one, listen.
Yeah, this is the system.
Hello, Blessing. Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. That's fine then. Do you have any questions so far? You said? Okay, okay, okay. All right, so guys, let's continue. Is there any question? Yes. Um, var is just like type infad. I'll come to it later. But let me just explain the primitive data type first. Then I'll come back to keywords and we'll understand them later. So string is a data type. I was explaining data type. So and we have yes. So we have string, integers, boolean, double, and the likes. We have custom data type as well. But then let's try and understand the primitive one first before we move on to custom. Then one of them is string, and I said string is the combination of characters or letters inside within quotes. The quotes can be single quotes or double quotes. Just like the example you are seeing here, we have name Ola, and we print it to console here, where you see the name printed in the console. Okay, so we want to move on to integer, and I was explaining the guys. We are back here now. So and I was explaining. I was giving you guys advice on how to name your variable name. That if you want to name your variable, always use a name that is descriptive enough for you to understand what that variable does. For example, now if I'm writing my program now and I want to name this biros, I will say students biros. Right. So anytime at any point in time, I can come back to my code 2 weeks later, and once I see the variable, I know what it does. So now the variable can be, integer is numbers. It can be any number, and it's not inside any quotes. And let's print. You said? Okay. Don't worry, don't worry. We'll come back to that before we end this class. Okay. Now, we have Boolean. It's called Boolean in some other programming language, but it is bool in that. That is either true or false. Bool used to come in two values, either true or false, either yes or no. Just like something can have either one of the two sides, either true or false. That is, when you flip a coin, either head or tail, right? There's the same thing as Boolean, either true or false. Cannot be any other thing, true or false. For example, let's name a variable bool is coming. Is equal to now, as you can see, this variable name and this variable boolean, this is coming. I get this spelling correct. Now, this variable now, anytime I want to reference it within my code, I already know that this variable is asking about. Let me give you advice here. If you want to name a variable, if it is a boolean, always use is, or always use is. That is, you will know that that is a question, and your answer will always be either true or false. It's coming. That's enough for you to know that you are asking a question, and the value will always be true or false. And this is your value, true. It can also be false. false like this. And as you can see, it's not inside any quotes, and it's in small letter. If you put capital letter here now, it's not going to understand it. As you can see, it will be in small letters. Then we have double. Double by is equal to 3.14. Double is used to double is any integer with decimal points. Any integer with decimal points. Any variable that you name and you put points after it is double with decimal points. So, for example, in your mathematics you have pi, right? And pi is 3.14. Now, if you want to save that in a variable now, you can create a variable named pi, and its data type will be double. Is that clear? Now, hello? Okay, fine. Let me chip this in. In some other programming language, in Java, there's floats and there's double. Floats and there's double. Yes. Float is just like float is also a number with decimal points, but I can't really remember they are different. But just put your mind in that whenever maybe you say another program and you see something float or double, you can represent it as double in that. Do you get? So that only have double, doesn't have floats. Alright, so that's all about primitive data type. Now, before we move on, I want us to do that installation and ID. But before, so that I can give you an example, let me quickly show you. Let's quickly touch concatenation and interpolation. Concatenation and interpolation. Let me write it so you understand it. This is an issue. Let me discuss. You said? You could call him, yeah. Let me try and disconnect first and reconnect. Okay, you guys can see my screen here. Now we have something called interpolation and concatenation. It's a way we concatenation is a way we join two or more variables, for two or more string variables, string variables. Now let's say, for example, I want to print. Let's say, are you with us? Okay. Let's say I give you an assignment. I say, write about yourself, and I already give you some variables to instantiate the variables. When I say instantiate a variable, it means okay. For example, if I if I do like this, bull is coming. Can you see this line 31? If I say do bull is coming, this here I just declare the variable. I have not assigned any value to it. So let's say I declare some variable for you. I told you to give it a value and use it in a sentence. Now that's where string interpolation and concatenation comes in. Now let's say I want to say the student's name is Ola and his middle name is Tadi, and he has 10 biros. Now if I want to print it, I can do it like this. String. Now see, whatever I want to print here is a string. A string, just like this. It's a string. You can see it inside double quotes. Now I can see the student's name is Jinu, I can just change this to pen. Now let's say I want to print this. Let me just first print it in here. Yeah, you can see the student name is dash, and his middle name is dash, and he has dash pen. Now we want to fit in those variables we created earlier. We want to fit them in this sentence. Now you can see, you see this $sign, then the variable name. $sign and the variable name. Then his middle name is, I'm coming. Middle name. Student pen. Now, as you can see it now, you see this $sign. It's used to, so that your program knows that whatever is next to this is a variable. Whatever whatever is next to that dollar sign is a variable. So that's what it will, because here now we are putting it within a string. This whole thing now is a string. This whole thing that I highlighted is a string. Now let me show you something. I can create a variable here. So that you can understand that this is a string. That's why I separate it into another variable. You see that here I create a new variable and assign all this sentence to it. I can decide to just create this. We are for this one. We are just creating another. We are just using another space in the memory to express this value, this sentence here. We might decide to just print it straight away. That means we are not using more space on the memory again. So you understand that whenever you create a variable, you are adding a space, like you are occupying a space on your computer memory. Whenever you create a new variable, but yeah, you are occupying. It might be a bit. The space is very minor that you might not even notice. Might not even up to 1 byte like this. All this file. In fact, the entire file might not be up to. I mean, yeah, it might not up to 1 byte. A variable, I think a variable used to be a 4 bits, and 16 bits is 1 byte. 1 byte. Wait, this the memory that this is using is not specifically mean your storage. I think this memory is using your RAM. That's why when you open an application, it occupies some RAM, and when you remove the app, the RAM is freed. So this is creating these all these variables. They are just like um, some passion. I mean, some space of your RAM. So when you launch your application, it will take the space, and when you close the application, it's free the space again. Yeah, it's not like it will be there forever. However, your file will be stored on your ROM. That is your space, gongon. Your file is stored there, whatever the size of the file. Do you get it? Like, if you buy a phone now, you used to check the RAM and the ROM. The RAM is the space that your program runs on, while the ROM is your storage. That is, if you are saving a video, you are saving anything, it's stored on your ROM. But if you run your application, yeah, it's occupying your RAM. And once you close that application, the space will be freeze again. Now, so we create a value and we store it on. We create a variable and we store it inside a value as name, and we can print the value here, or we can also do it the way we did it earlier and remove this. This is not going to create an extra space, it's to just print it for us. We cannot reference this value later because it's not stored. You get it? Do you guys understand? Do you understand what I'm saying? So if we print it now, you see we can have the student name is Ola. Do you guys see the student name is Ola and the middle name is Tade, and he has 10 pen. You can decide to come here later and say the pen is 5. If you save it and run it again, you said it's not. Oh, again. Let me just copy it, run it again. It's not coming. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, we have the name, the student's name is populated within the string. The pen, we can change the pen to 3 pen, change the variable name to, you said? Yes, yes. This is what I printed. You see, we just put the name here, we just put the variable within this string, and it's automatically populates the value of those variable name into here. We have the student name, the middle name is, we have the student name, middle name here, and the value, we have it here. Now, I want to change the variable name again. Let me change it to type. And we have the middle name and the pen. And if you run it again, let me save it first and run it. You can see it. We have our changes populated here. We have the name, the middle name, and the number of pen. Do you have any question? To reflect anywhere. We can reference this variable as within the same file as many as possible. We can reference it anywhere at any point within the same file. Okay, now this is a single name variable. Let's say we want to do some calculation within this pen. Now, let's say we have the students, we have student pencil as well. Let's say integer students pencil is equal to 2. Let's say the students have let's say this is biro, and pencil. Yeah, students have the biros and pencil. Now we want to calculate the total pen he has altogether. Now we can create a new variable and say int total pen is equal to student biro plus students. Now if you take this total pen and put it here, I create a new variable here. I assign one as biro, another one as pencil. Now I create another variable which I use to add the pencil and the biro. Now get something here. If you if you write the variable name before the equal sign, it's going to, if you write the variable name before equal sign, it's going to take it as the variable name. If you write it after the equal sign, it's going to take it as value. It's going to take its value. For example, this total pen now, on the left here, it knows that this is a variable name, but when I put this student's biro and student pen on the left side, it's going to give me their value, not the variable name again. You understand? So it's going to give me their value now, and if I print this total now, it's going to do this calculation for me and print it. Let's see that. Let me clear my console and run it again. So as you can see, the student's name is Taiwo and his middle name is Tadi, and he has 6 pen. You see that it does the calculation for here. Now there's something I want to show you. I just showed this. Now what if we don't want to assign don't want to create a new variable within here? We just want to assign the value and go. Since we know that we are not going to reference this total anywhere again, we only want to use it. Now we can do it here, but the issue here is we cannot put both students pen students pen. Now if we do this here, it's not going to calculate it for us, because it will see this as we are referencing the value of biro and we are referencing the value of pencil, but we are not adding it. It will see this additional sign as another string because it's within the quotes, and we cannot assign we cannot put the dollar sign because it's not a variable. We can only put it. Now how do we do it? We can just what's this? Okay, where is it? Let's cut it out there. Now look at this. We use this dollar sign, then we open curly braces. We put the first variable, then we do the calculation within this brackets. So it's going to calculate the value for us again. Let me clear again and print. You see, it says the student name is Taiwo and the middle name is Tadi, then he has 6 pen. That is, we can, if we want to do any calculation within our variable, it's going to be inside these brackets. Do you understand? Once we want to do something that is more than one variable, that is more than one word variable name, there is more than one variable, we'll put it inside this. Yeah, we are still doing both concatenation and yeah, we are doing both concatenation and interpolation. Concatenation is joining two string, while interpolation is just assigning the variable name within the string or the expression. So, and I said when you are doing the you cannot do your calculation within the string or within the expression, except you put them inside these brackets and put the dollar sign before it. So that's it on interpolation. Let me do another example. We can have instead of printing this here, let me just give you an assignment as let me look for I think I kept some assignments for you guys. Let me check. Yes, yes. Let's start with the installation. But I hope you guys understand the variables and the data type now. Do you? When I give you an assignment and an exercise, I think you will get it better. Let me just go to now. Open your browser and type. Do you all have Visual Studio installed? Visual Studio, VS Code. Okay, let's go and install that first. Anyhow, so far you can access it anytime you want to use it. VS Code download. It's not. You will have to download it locally. Then you click on this first link that you see. Are you guys following me, or do you want to install it now? You have it there. Okay. You want to install? Yeah. Just open your browser and type VS Code download. Just type this. Just type this to your browser. VS Code download. Do you have it already? No, VS Code. No, not Visual Studio. There is Visual Studio Code. There is VS Code. This one is VS Code. Let me see the one you have. The one with the blue icon is VS Code, and that's the one we want to use. So are you here already? Then click on the first link. This first link. Are you here? You are downloaded. What's the name? Wonder. Okay, you have it already. All right. So you are the only one installing it. So just select your Windows. So after this, you will see the download and it will be downloading. And while this one is downloading, since I have it already, let me pause it. Let me cancel it. So while this is downloading, let's go and install Flutter. Now, there's if it doesn't start automatically, you can click the button to download. Now, since majority of us have VS Code, let's go ahead and install Flutter and Dart. Now, if you want to install Dart, that is what we are currently doing, Dart. But then we'll still do Flutter later. Flutter SDK has Dart because it depends on Dart, so it has to have Dart SDK. SDK is software development kit. Yeah, it's just like where they put all your kit or everything you need. They package it to one SDK, so that you can have it locally on your device. Now, let's do Flutter. You have to. We will install Flutter because Flutter comes with that SDK. Now, so Blessing, are you following us? So you type install Flutter to your browser and you click on the first link, the one that have docs.flutter.dev. Let me know if you are here. If you can see this page. Huh? Okay. Type on your browser, type Flutter install. Then you select the first one. You have the one that has docs.flutter.dev. Let me know when you get there. Okay, so you click on current device is Windows. If you want to do for Mac, if you are using MacBook, that's when you select Mac, or if your operating system is Linux or Chrome OS. But I don't think anyone is using Chrome OS or Linux here. So let's just go on with Windows. Now, you select Android. Actually, if we select iOS from here, if you select macOS, yeah, you will see that it says it puts recommended. It puts recommended on iOS because that's the current device that we select. But since we are on Windows, we can select Android. Let's select Android so that we can see the installation guide. Now, first You have to confirm if your computer has 8 gig RAM space. I mean RAM. What's your computer configuration? You can, okay, let me just show you. Let me just show you how to get it. Come to Windows. I mean, you can click on this search and search properties. I think. Pro. Okay. Nope. Open your folder. Open your folder and select this PC, this one that I'm clicking on. Select it, or right click on it. Then you select the properties here. You select the properties when you right click. Oh shit. Yes. Right click when you right click first to see the properties, and then you select these properties. It's not showing up. Has it showed up on your? Okay, you can see that. You can see installed RAM, 8 gig RAM. So you have 16. Depend on your own computer and the one you have on your computer. So, but Flutter is telling us that we have to have minimum of 8 gig RAM. 8 gig RAM installed. So, are we all on the same page? All right. So let's. We are all good to go. Well, it can still work, but then it will trouble you so much. It will give you a lot of problems. Now, you can close that one. That one is just for you to confirm your RAM space. Then you should have at least 60 gig storage, and in which I believe all of us will have at least 60 gig ROM. I mean 60 gig storage on your computer. Now, let's go. Now, you see this install Flutter SDK. Then you click on this panel, download and install. Actually, we can use VS Code to install, but then we want to. You can see it. You said? Then if you are here already, select Flutter Windows to start downloading. click on this, then the download will start. Have you clicked it? Now I'm going to cancel it on my end. I don't know. While this one is downloading, if yours is done downloading, let me know so we can have someone who wants to continue. Let me bring a MacBook and show you how it looks like. Where's my this? I don't know how blessing we can help blessing here, because the reason I want to show you Mac settings is in case you might need it later, and MacBook, they have this kind of issue that almost everybody is installing on MacBook. That's why I just want to show you. Blessing, are you still with us? Oh God. Okay. Now, hello guys, can you see the screen now? Now, if you select Windows and you select macOS, if anybody's own is done installing, just let me know so we can. Now, okay, so after you download, now your computer as a MacBook user, your computer can either be Intel RAM, Intel chip, or M chip. MacBook used to come in either Intel chip or M chip. If you are using from 2020 upward, it should be M, or if you are using 2020, I think they still have Intel, but 2021 upward, they are M chip. Now, so you select Apple Silicon instead of Intel processor if you are using M chip. But if you are using Intel chip, you select Intel processor. Then after you are done with that, after this one is installed, then we extract it to a folder. Let me open the folder. Okay, development. This is where I have my own installation and extra. This is where I have my own installation where I extract it to. But then before you can use it on Mac, where is my terminal? You open your terminal. You do Brew. First, you need to install Brew. Brew is just your choice. It's just Brew is like command line. When I mean command line, this is your terminal, right? So most of these things you are doing on, maybe you go to a folder, everything you can do on your computer, you can also do it within your terminal, and that's command line. You use command to do whatever you want to do. I can open a folder, just like I go to my folder here, my finder, open a folder. I can also do the same thing within this terminal with just command. Now, so Brew is a command line tools that you can use to install anything you want to install. Now, inside your terminal, type Brew install CocoaPods. Now, this CocoaPods, let's go back to the oh, I already closed it. Data installation step. CocoaPods helps you to run your mobile application on MacBook. It's long, exactly. That's why I want to show you. So I want to go through it with you. Now, this is after you extract it to the folder. You add it to your path. We'll do the same thing on Windows 2. We will add our installation to the path. But to do it on MacBook, you have to the process is different. On MacBook, let's go back to home. Then you type Windows. Do I even remember this command to show hiding folders? Okay, now if you are installing on Windows on Mac, if you are installing for the first time, you won't have this file, this .zshe environment. You won't have it. You first have to create a file. You put in your environment path, something like this. You copy it, then you open it. Let me see if I can open this. I don't want it to disturb my installation. So you open it like this and paste that link, that part where your Flutter app your Flutter SDK is downloaded. You just put it here and you save. You make sure it's saved as .zsh environment. If it doesn't, you still have to edit like this. Go to get info. From here you edit it again to make sure it's installed as this extension. Then when you are done, then you install Xcode. I already have my own Xcode. This is it. This is Xcode. This is how what Xcode looks like. Where is it? Yeah, this is it. This is Xcode. If you can see it, this is Xcode, and this is Android Studio. So for iOS, you still have to install the Xcode, and then you allow the license. Then you download your simulator. Yeah, I think that's all. So this once you run this command, you run this Flutter install CocoaPod, it will download everything. And on my own end now, if I type Flutter, are you guys done downloading? It's still downloading. Okay, if I type Flutter Doctor. Oh, okay. Okay, so Flutter Doctor is going to show you the status of your Flutter installation, if it is complete, if it's having any issue, or if the installation doesn't go well. So Flutter Doctor is going to show you all of that and your Flutter version. You are done now. Go extract it to your download folder. Okay. Now go to your this piece. Open your folder. Okay, let me just go through it like this. Now open your folder like this. Go to your local disk. Hello, Blessing. Hello, Blessing. Okay, you are there already, Abby. You said? Yes, you've opened it. Okay. Now create a folder here and name it. You can name it development. Yes, and create a new folder. Yes, you can name it development. Just right click, then new folder, and name it development. Then you press enter. Done. Okay. Now drag the downloaded file. You drag it, go and drag it to inside that folder, inside the development folder that you created. Are you following us? You are not following. What happened? You are still there. So, have you created the folder? Go and create the folder. Go and copy the download file. Go and copy it to inside the development. Go and put it there. folder here. The extracted folder here. Here, yes. Download. Where you extracted it to, go and copy it from where you extracted it. That it should be in your download folder. Yes. Cheese. Yes, sir. Yes. Now, have your own is done downloading, right? It's still downloading. What of VS Code? Yeah, install the VS Code. You've installed it. That's okay. You have done the same thing, right? Wonder. You've downloaded the SDK. The one you are extracting earlier, is it done? Have you copied it to the development folder? Copy it now. The development folder you created, just they are like a zip file, right? Yeah, you extract it. You can copy it to the development folder, then extract it inside the folder. Are you all yeah? You've extracted the folder to the okay. So what about you? Your own is still downloading. Let's proceed. Now once you are here, just click here like this and type CMD on this search bar. Just click there and type CMD inside the development folder that you. Oh wait, not here. Open the Flutter folder you created, then the bin. From here you click the Flutter. After you've copied the Flutter folder inside the development new, then you click on Flutter, then bin. Click on bin as well. So you can see this is that. We downloaded Flutter, so this is that and this is Flutter. So Flutter SDK, that SDK comes with Flutter. Are you done? Then you click here, then type CMD, then you press enter. Yes, click CMD, then it will open this up for you. Type Flutter version. Okay, let me just type this. Flutter. You should press enter. Yes. Flutter space dash version. Then press enter. So it's going to show you the information about the Flutter package you downloaded. Flutter space dash dash version. I don't have that work because it's already Can you see this as then the next thing is to set it up on our environment variable so that from here we can do anything to understand it. Our terminal will understand it. But once we close it and open the terminal again, we have to go to the same folder but if we want to do it that anytime at any point where we reference Flutter or .sdk, it's going to understand it. For example, let me just close my terminal and open it again. Now, if you do the same thing, it's going to throw an error for you. If you close your terminal and open it again, if I type where Flutter, now it's showing me the directory where I installed my Flutter SDK. I can also type Flutter version. So it's going to show information about my Flutter, which you cannot do the same thing. Now to be able to do that, let's open the search bar and type environment variables. You see this environment variable, just click on it. Are you done? Then you click on these environment variables. Are you all here? Then select path. Oh, before you select path, go back to your folder where you install Flutter. Let me check some. Now, go back to that folder, then copy this link. Before you copy it, make sure the folder the path looks like this. Your path looks like this, and it's the things you are referencing. Then you click Ctrl C. if you want to change CF.exe instead of me, just click on execute and click execute. Go back to the folder. Then go back to your environment variable. Go back to your environment variable and select new. Oh, sorry. Select the path and edit. Select the path and edit. Are you clear? Then you click on new. Click on new. Yes, this new here. Click on it, then paste what you have on your project. And paste Ctrl. Click OK. No. OK. Then you click OK to close it. Click OK. Click OK here too. And OK. And you click apply here if you're on this station. Then you can now restart your computer and okay. Before you do, let's just confirm it. If go back to your terminal, close the previous window and open it again. Command line in Mac, it's called terminal. Now you can type Flutter, so we can reference it anywhere from our computer. Now the next thing is open your VS Code. Yeah, open your VS Code. Okay. Open your VS Code. Now we have our Flutter installed. Now we are good to go. So I want you to do something now. On your desktop, create a folder and name it that tutorial. On your desktop, create a folder and name it that tutorial. That tutorial. Just like this one. Then create a file, name it as variable.dat. Variables.dat. File. The new file, name it as variables.dat. No, inside the folder that tutorial folder. So as to not stress you. Open your VS Code. So before we go, so on your extension, this panel, this side panel, you see this extension, this icon. Just click on it to show this extension file. Open your VS Code everywhere. Let me know when you are here. Are you there? Now, type Flutter here. Flutter. You see, type Flutter. So when you are done with studying, now you can go back to the file menu here. This first one that looks like file, and then create new file. Just click this icon, or you can right click. You can right click this to create new file, or click this and type variable. The installation is on. Have you created the folder? Open the folder in the PHP. Click the file. Before you create the new file, open the folder you created earlier. So this really stuff that I'll give you, I'll paste the assignment inside then you will do it on this file. Now, before you do it, you start anything, remember to create your main file, main function. Just type void main, open brackets, close bracket. Then everything you want to do will be inside this bracket, Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I've posted today's classroom work to the Google Classroom, so you can copy it from there. Yes, you can copy it from there. Then I will paste your assignment as well. How do I get this? Let me put your assignment. Say? You copy it. You create wrong file. You create wrong file. This is very good. That first thing you create a folder instead of file. Then you name it as that. It's just that without X. You are supposed to call it here. You don't see this logo, that means you are creating one. So this way it can recognize your that way. No, you don't have to create a new file. No, if you whatever you want to do, for example, and now you don't have any file, you have to create a new file to do whatever you want to do. Then you create it, you write main function. Yes.
So I can work on this file and
Yes.
so now can sense it. No, let's go this one. Let's go this
of Flutter is